Why don't we take a couple minutes and do something that mainstream media won't do because it can't do it, because it's in bed with governments around the world, because they have to continue this facade that government is somehow legitimate. So we have this London Bridge attack from yesterday, and there's a villain, there's a terrorist group, a terrorist organization that mainstream media just won't talk about. CNN won't talk about it. CBS won't talk about it. The Independent won't talk about it. BBC, The Guardian. We're going to go over a couple of these articles, and it's going to become very, very clear what terrorist organization that we're talking about. First of all, I want to start with The Guardian. We're not going to read this whole article, but check out these words. The horrific terrorist attack at London Bridge on Friday afternoon demonstrated both the very best of humanity and the very worst. On the one hand, we saw ordinary Londoners going about their daily lives and the brave men and women of our emergency services rushing headlong into danger with barely a thought for their own safety to protect the lives of others. I will never forget the clip, get this, here we go, this is important, of three people, one a foreign EU citizen, taking on an armed and homicidal attacker with a whale tusk, a fire extinguisher, and their bare hands. That right there should tip you off about the terrorist organization that I'm talking about. The hidden terrorist organization, actually hidden in plain sight. They and the police who join them are truly the best of us. On the other hand, we saw a man previously convicted, here's the other tip, previously convicted of terror offenses and sickeningly unrepentant. Now pause that right there. Because in this article by the BBC, the Metropolitan Police said the attack is believed to have started inside Fishmongers Hall at 13:58 Greenwich Mean Time on Friday before continuing on to London Bridge itself, where Khan, that's Usman Khan, was shot by armed officers. Khan was known to the authorities who were there to keep you safe, having been convicted of a terrorism offense in 2012. He was released from prison by whom? By the authorities. This known convict who was guilty of terrorist offenses was let out of prison halfway through his 16-year sentence in December 2018, subject to an extensive list of license conditions. Oh, that really helped the public, didn't it? In one of these articles, it says he has a tracking device hooked to him. But check this out. That didn't help the public either. Previously convicted of terrorist offenses and sickeningly unrepentant intent on attacking innocent people, innocent unarmed people. By the way, Usman Khan did not make these innocent people unarmed. Who do you think that was that made them unarmed? And by doing so, assailing our values, threatening our way of life, and dividing our communities. 2 people died, 2 people didn't have to die. And 3 others were taken to the hospital as a result of this cowardly attack. You know what's cowardly? Taking away the weapons, the handguns, the rifles of innocent people in the public by politicians and law enforcers. The people in London have been disarmed by the biggest terror cell known to man called government. Look at this. I know this is Wikipedia. You got to take everything with a grain of salt, but check this out. In the United Kingdom, accessed by the general public, you know that general public who is thrown under the bus by the authorities who let out Usman Khan, that general public. In the United Kingdom, access by the general public to firearms is subject to some of the strictest control measures in the world. Laws differ and are generally less restrictive in Northern Ireland. Concerns have been raised over the availability of illegal firearms. Members of the public may own sporting rifles, like who's there to grant your approval? Are they not free men over there? No, you're not free if you have to ask for permission from government to be armed with a personal protection device, which these people over here on London Bridge should have had but didn't, because the armed gang called government disarmed the general public. Members of the public may own sporting rifles and shotguns subject to licensing, that's permission granted by the government, but handguns were effectively banned after the Dublin school massacre in 1996 with the exception of Northern Ireland. So who actually facilitated this attack? The answer is right here in this article by the BBC. The authorities. The authorities, because they let Khan out knowing that he'd been convicted of a terrorism offense in 2012. And they released him from prison halfway through his 16-year sentence. So they put a terrorist out in the general public who is prone to committing acts of terrorism, and now 2 people are dead and 3 people are injured. When they could have had a firearm, not only did they let Khan out into the general public knowing that he was a terrorist, but they disarmed the people, and now they're not able to defend themselves against a knife-wielding psychopath. They got stabbed. Anybody could have taken that guy out with just the smallest subcompact, or even a .22, just something, a chance at anything. But no, they're relegated to using a whale tusk, a fire extinguisher, and their bare hands against a psychopath with a knife. This pisses me off, guys. This should piss everybody off. This should piss the people of London off and the people of America. These are human beings who were disarmed by the government they trust. The government says, we're going to keep you safe. Look, we piled on all these laws and rules and regulations and this extensive list of license conditions against Khan. There's no way he could do anything. Somewhere down here it says that he had a little device on him. Here's Khan right here. You want to listen to him? Listen to Khan. He's going to tell you, I ain't no terrorist. Listen to this.
I've been born and bred in England, in Stoke-on-Trent, in Coatbridge, and the older community knows me. And they will know, if you ask them, they will know, like these labels, what they're putting on, like terrorist, this, that. They will know, I ain't no terrorist.
He was also given a secure laptop that complied with his license conditions to allow him to continue the writing and studying he began while in jail. Well, aren't they nice? Just giving the terrorist all this stuff and then setting him free in the general population so he can go to London Bridge and start stabbing people who were disarmed by their government. Disarmed. Members of the public may own sporting rifles, but handguns were effectively banned after the Dublin school massacre in 1996. Effectively banned. You know what that means? Gun control. You know what gun control is a euphemism for? People control. You know who the biggest terrorist in this whole situation was? The authorities, who let a terrorist out to stab a bunch of people who were disarmed. And that is the story you will not hear anywhere on mainstream, fake stream, CIA-infiltrated Operation Mockingbird media. Leave your thoughts about this for the world and the Google Thought Police in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys in the next heavily censored Shadow Man video.